A lot of haters right now out there in the comments of some of my Instagram videos initially from the 2 touchdown throws from this monster Justin Fields today. Justin Fields was 3 of 3, 129 and 2 touchdowns. Yes, it was a preseason game. I get it. 1 touchdown pass to Khalil Herbert, who we're going to talk about in a minute. Another touchdown strike to DJ Moore. And I kind of thought maybe there'd be 75%, oh, okay, I'm on board this train now. Okay, yeah, it looks great. And maybe 30%, maybe 5% or 10% undecided. The remaining percentage haters. But I've got to tell you something, and this is exciting news. The hate is greater than ever after this game. In the comments of my Instagram posts, I put 2 or 3 of the plays. You can go watch the touchdown strikes on my Instagram. It's nothing but hate. It's, oh, you just taking the preseason, Smitty, and running with it. Oh, Fields is trash. Fields underthrew Khalil Herbert. Fields underthrew DJ Moore. Just completely ignoring the facts and the obvious things going on in Chicago. I've got to say, I am blown away by how today didn't change minds. I'm blown away at how many people are doubling down on their stupid take that Justin Fields isn't going to become a good, great, elite passer in the NFL. Not good, great, elite passer. 4,000-yard passer. And I know you're going to come in and go, 4,000 yards, Smitty. You can't do that. Did you see what he did last year? Stop living in the past, you caveman. Stop living in the past and look toward the future, because we're here to discuss it and do it live.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Wow. What a crazy day, and what a crazy reaction in general by a big chunk of the fantasy football community. I'm halfway ashamed of the entire fantasy football industry. I'm halfway ashamed of the fantasy football viewership community. Not our community, but just completely ridiculous thinking that a lot of these people have. Where he goes out and throws 2 touchdown passes today in the preseason. Yeah, we know it's preseason, okay? But as I tell everybody over and over, you take things like preseason, you take things like combine, you take things like 40 times, and you let them accent what you already believe to be true. So if we didn't think Fields was going to be good at all this year and he goes out and throws 2 touchdowns, that would be something that doesn't confirm what we think. I'm not saying there isn't bias involved in this process if you get it right or wrong in terms of your initial assessment, but you need to treat these things as accoutrements and accents on what you already believe to be true. And when we see Fields and we say, okay, this offensive line is going to outproduce what everybody thinks. Why? Because they were literally on the field as Fields can't find wide receivers, trying to figure out how to block for this guy 3-4 extra seconds than most offensive lines are on the field before the whistle's blown. So your offensive line is not going to be productive. He's on the run constantly in 2022. His wide receiver room is completely injured, and he's got wide receivers running second chance routes after their route comes to an end, like in a game of Madden, and you see the guy run his route, and then the ball doesn't come to him, and the player in digital format looks around and just starts running around all over the field. That's what happened in Chicago last year. And people have the audacity to judge the offensive line in Chicago and try and paint them as this exact replica of the 2022 version in 2023. You've got to be out of your mind. If you can't use logic to understand the difference between offensive line play with that kind of scenario on the field in 2022 and having a very productive offense that can stretch the field with DJ Moore. Oh, but DJ Moore's not going to do anything, Smitty. DJ Moore might have even proved me wrong. I said DJ Moore, even up to yesterday, was going to be a very good wide receiver. 1,200 yards, 7-8 touchdowns, maybe more, maybe 9. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Those are numbers that I kick around a lot for DJ Moore. 80 to 90 receptions, 1,200 yards, 7 to 9 touchdowns. Very good season. Very good wide receiver, too. We love DJ Moore. But people have been saying, Smitty, could he be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy? After today, after what I've been hearing all offseason, what's confirmed in this game right here is that there's design plays and there's great rapport between Fields and DJ Moore that's going to extend far beyond our expectation level. DJ Moore quite arguably could be a top 12 wide receiver in this 2023 season. He could quite arguably have 10 to 12, 13 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, 90 plus receptions. He's on the map in the 9 to 14 overall wide receiver range. Let's pump the brakes a little bit and just say 9 to 14 is amazing. 9 to 14 is absolutely phenomenal. Don't draft him in round 3. Don't draft him in round 4 if you don't have to. Take him in the top of 5 as a steal. He's now Drake London level in terms of wide receiver. He's now maybe a touch below Christian Watson. I'd take Watson before, but I like DJ Moore in between. He's at the table. He's at the table of those individuals. This guy, DJ Moore, he's looking very, very crispy out there. And we've heard all offseason long that these two are best buddies. They're doing karate in the garage. They've got the bunk beds assembled so they have more room for activities. And they're going to drop fire in 2023. I know it. I know it. I know it. And this guy right here, if he doesn't get injured, is going to be a front runner, if not the winner, of the MVP voting in 2023. And he could absolutely clinch the division. And you could say, let me take away all your ammunition, you negative Noah out there that's about to come in here and try and spew your poison about this situation and your negativity and your toxicity, and you're going to come in here and say this is a freaking preseason game, Smitty. It's a preseason game. How are you getting this excited? He underthrew him. He underthrew both DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert. Let me enlighten you for a second, you negative Noah. Let me enlighten you for 1 second. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? We're talking about the entire package. What is Justin Fields in fantasy football 2023? Not what is Justin Fields all by himself. Not Justin Fields, what is his accuracy looking like? And I'm not saying it's going to be bad. Not Justin Fields, well, somebody helped him out on that touchdown. We're talking about fantasy football. We're talking about NFL too. We always talk about NFL, but we're always talking about, okay, he's inaccurate. He's inaccurate. Well, I don't care. What I saw was a player, even if he underthrew both those throws, they were catchable. And I also saw a system that let the football matriculate down the field into the end zone twice. I saw an offensive line that pulled perfectly and allowed for those screen passes and dump offs. I saw two players, Khalil Herbert and DJ Moore, get unbelievable blocking downfield so they could both score touchdowns. And you're complaining about Justin Fields underthrowing a football. Tell me you know nothing about football, and especially fantasy football, without telling me you know absolutely zero. Oh, Smitty, he underthrew the pass. Oh, Smitty, it's his offensive line. Oh, Smitty, he had blocking. That wasn't DJ Moore. That was the offensive line. That was the blocking that helped DJ Moore score. DJ Moore didn't score that pass. You are nothing but a hater. If there's any, and I haven't read the comments yet, I'm going to get to the super chats in a second. Pile in the super chats. This is going to be an exciting show. I haven't read the comments right now, but if there's someone in the comments right now, they're saying things like, oh, it's the blocking, it wasn't DJ Moore, oh, it's the offensive line. Guess what you said, you negative Noah? Guess what you said? You said the offensive line was trash. You said there was no surrounding weaponry to help Fields become what Smitty says he's going to become. Now you see it, and now you blame an underthrown pass on Fields that got caught, that got taken downfield for a touchdown. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing about football if you say Fields is going to be trash. You, viewer watching right now, know nothing about football if you think Justin Fields can't be the NFL MVP. You know nothing about football, John. If you come in here and say, this team can't win the division, I'm not saying they for sure win the division. The Detroit Lions are going to give them a run for their money. It's going to be a dogfight. And the Vikings and the Green Bay Packers are all in the mix. This is one of the most well-rounded divisions in football. No, it doesn't have the top 1 or 2 teams in the league, but it has 4 squads in a dogfight for the division win, 2 or 3 teams battling for a playoff spot, and you got Justin Fields. At least you could admit that he's an NFL MVP candidate. And at least you can admit that the Bears have a shot at clinching their division. If you don't think that, put your receipt in the comments and tell us you know nothing about football. Tell us you're so biased and so doubling down on your previous take, you can't see straight. You don't know how to adjust and adapt, and you don't know how to adjust to anything at this point, because this man's proving exactly what I've been talking about all offseason long. The offensive line just proved to you what I've been talking about all offseason long. This whole entire squad, the weaponry, DJ Moore, how he affects the whole entire situation, how he spreads the defense out, how he accumulates defensive attention, and how Khalil Herbert is still so quietly under the radar, one of the better picks in fantasy football mid-rounds. And this guy should be on the Moonman list, and he might be a mid-season monster if we can't make room on the Moonman list. Justin Fields is going to the absolute moon. I got to turn the fan on here. I'm getting really, really hot and bothered. My feathers are ruffled beyond ruffling. And I just think that this is one of the funniest situations in fantasy football and NFL commentating, predicting, analysis, content creation. There are so many ridiculous Rodgers out there running their pathetic mouths about this guy right here, Justin Fields, about this guy right here, Khalil Herbert, about this guy right here, DJ Moore, and a guy we haven't even talked about yet in Cole Kmet, who's going to have a baller season, and Roschon Johnson, who you can cuff to this man, Khalil Herbert, and really lock down an amazing potential running back 3 flex play in 2023. All you petrified Peters, worried Williams, unaware Ungers, You guys have a long road ahead of you. This is going to be a painful experience watching these Chicago Bears annihilate all of your hatred and negative comments and ridiculous analysis on this team. Let's look at the stat line real quick from this game, preseason game. Understand, Bob. I understand. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. This is not my first rodeo. And what I tell people all the time, and I'll keep saying it, this is an accent, an accoutrement, a supporting piece of evidence as to why you believe a player is going to break out. Preseason play cannot be taken as if it's law, as if it's the only thing to tell you what to do. Like, for example, Travis Homer. Oh, yeah, let's just say he had 3 touchdowns in this game. You cannot come out and go, oh, Travis Homer, 3 touchdowns, he's going to be great. What you can do, if you're a good person at evaluating fantasy football and NFL situations, is you look at something and you say, this is what I feel. Do I have anything to confirm it? You have a 3-for-3 quarterback, 129 yards, 2 touchdown strikes, one of which went to DJ Moore for 62 yards, one of which went to Khalil Herbert for 56 yards. What more do you need? What more do you need than to hear it from me over and over and over, and then see it on the field twice in a row, and then have the audacity to come in and complain about him underthrowing 2 catchable balls that got taken for touchdown passes where the offensive line and entire team blocked like bosses out there, and you're coming in running your mouth? They blocked like absolute monsters out there. This offensive line's a top 12 unit in the National Football League, and you don't even know it because all you do is regurgitate what you hear garbage analysts tell you about the Chicago Bears. You have garbage analysts out there and content creators telling you that they can't block, that they're going to be this bad, that Fields can't throw, that 4,000 yards for Fields is going to be crazy. Just wait. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a long, long season.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Fields like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Fields so good.
Fields general. My field's good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. Fields. He's for reals.
You know what we're going to be saying at the end of all this? By the way, that part 2's coming. This all the breaking news and everything coming. You know what? We know what we're going to be able to say at the end of all this? To every single Fields hater, to every single one of you doubters out there, you negative Noahs coming in with your anti-Fields hatred and commentary that makes no sense whatsoever, has no merit whatsoever, has only doubt and fear. You're scared of being wrong about what you've already said. You're doubling down. Learn to adjust and adapt. Do you know what we're going to say?
Got him.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Glory.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Phone lines are open, brought to you by Until Someone Knocks Them Off, brought to you by Mark Cleveland and TMT.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
These are our 2 high super chatters and gifted membership givers so far this month, and we've had somebody higher than 50, but this is when we started it a couple days ago. This was the highest super chatter. Anybody that drops a higher super chat than this will replace Mark Cleveland until somebody replaces that person, and so on and so on and so on. I dare someone to beat TMT. Super chats on screen. This is Carter. Carter says, I'm doing an 8-man half PPR 3 wide receiver draft right now. What would your strategy be? My draft is tomorrow. My strategy, Carter, is to take the best player available. I would not do anything different than that ever, because the flow of draft means everything. You can't take $1,000 into the stock market tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I'm going to go into this, group of stocks and I'm going to buy one of them no matter what, just because I want a running back, or I'm going to go wide receiver, running back, and you just walk into a bucket of stocks and go, I'm going to pick one of those when the stock prices over here might have dropped and you're like, oh God, I got to get this one. You got to go best player available. In general, in an 8-man, 3 wide receiver, I'm probably, going to go pretty heavy running back, because there's so many wide receivers that I love this year, like DJ Moore as an example, like Pickens, like Watson, like Olave, like all these guys that are outside in an 8-man, they're outside of the first 2 rounds. So my initial gut would be, hey, I'm going to go ahead and swing in and get Bijan. I'm going to get, maybe I do get a wide receiver like St. Brown or Garrett Wilson. Then I just ignore wide receiver for a while. I think, in general, like the best player available, obviously. But then I start scooping up Gibbs, Walker, players at that level. And then I take a Fields. I make sure I've got all that locked down. And by that point, you're still looking at Watson, Olave, or Olave maybe, but probably Watson and London and DJ Moore and Pickens. And you just scoop up about 4 or 5 of those guys. So that's probably, in general, the approach I'd take. Thank you, Carter, for the super chat. Any other super chats will be handled immediately. And that's the first super chatter of the day, so you get a standing ovation. Carter, appreciate you. Avi, you're live.
Yo, what's up, Smitty?
What's
Let
up?
them hate on Justin Fields. Let the haters hate. He's going to be QB2 behind Patrick Mahomes. Maybe passes him, but Mahomes will be 1. Get Fields in the 4th round. Take him 4th round, He's going to be that guy all season. DJ Moore is going to open up the field for Fields to run more, too. He's going to have more options, do a little read option, dance on some defenders. So let's do it, baby. Remember that trade? I traded Daniel Jones and Jamar Chase. It's a super flex, by the way. And TJ Hawkinson. And I got Calvin Ridley, Justin Fields, and Knox.
Yeah.
I absolutely robbed that deal like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So
Got
let's
him.
do it, baby. Fields.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I kind of thought, I don't know why I thought this. It was kind of naive of me. But when I posted those touchdown throws, the Khalil Herbert touchdown catch and touchdown reception, and the DJ Moore little dump off TD reception, I was naively thinking that, okay, this 50% hate, 50% love was going to shift into 75%. Okay, man, let's go. It's so weird. The double down Donnies out there. It's so weird. It's an infection. And it's so hard for people to shake because they so badly don't want to be wrong. They're willing to continue to double down like a double downing Donnie, just in hopes that it all works out the way they said, so that last year, not only are they right this year, their last year take of him being bad, and he just ran. That was the only reason. He's very inaccurate, Smitty. He's going to continue to play bad. Can't throw downfield. 4,000 yards is ridiculous. Fields could throw for 3,800 to 4,000 yards this year. Fields is going to score over 34, 35 total touchdowns. And everybody that doesn't draft him is going to be a petrified Peter and a total believer in 2024. And they can buckle up. They can cry all they want. Cry into your bag of popcorn as you watch this man rumble and stumble his way into multiple 40-point games in 2023. Wouldn't be surprised if he had 2 and 3 game stretches where he had 2 or 3 40-point games, a couple 25s, 30s, 30, 22, 35, 45, 42, 44. If he didn't have at least 2 or 3 stretches of 40-point games, at least 2 or 3 games, I'll be disappointed. I might wear a bag on my head the next show after this week 17. That's how ashamed I would be of myself if he didn't have at least 2 or 3 stretches of those 40-point games. I just can't wait. I can't wait. People are ridiculous, and I love it. Just like you said, let him hate. I mean, as I started the beginning of the show, this is good news. As wound up as I am, this is great news.
No, let Fields haters hate so we can get him lower. And literally last year, weeks 6 through 17, Fields was like a top 5 fantasy player. Yeah, the first 5 weeks he was awful, but if you look at weeks 6 through 17, just off fantasy, not real life, he was a beast. So how can he not get better with DJ Moore?
What I don't get is how somebody doesn't see this situation and say to themselves, okay, he did so, like, this is really what it comes down to. If you don't understand Fields and you're still on the fence for whatever reason, listen to me right now. If he could do what he did with all the disaster that you described, Bob, Bob, you're out there going, okay, bad offensive line, no wide receiver, like he just inaccurate. He's always running. If he did what he did and impressed the way he impressed and almost brought his team back and he gave his team a fighting chance every week without any of the things you're describing, what in the hell makes you think this guy can't walk into 2023 with a better offensive line production, with DJ Moore stretching the field, with the other wide receivers and Cole Kmet doing better things because of DJ Moore, and just a year under his belt getting better? Like, it's so weird how, and people did this with Jalen Hurts. They walked into 2023, every single one of you Jalen Hurts haters that isn't coming forward and admitting you hated Jalen Hurts, you won't admit it. You won't admit it. The same people that hated Jalen Hurts and said he was going to bust are the same people double downing Donnies on Justin Fields busting. And those people aren't anywhere to be found. But you know what the biggest misstep those people had is they acted like he wasn't going to get better. They acted like what you got in 2021 was what you were going to get out of Jalen Hurts in 2022. And that was the dumbest way to look at things, because look what Josh Allen taught you. And I said Josh Allen will be a top 1 to 5 quarterback before he ever took a snap in the NFL. And it took a little while. I admit, in year 1, it was a little bit hard to watch that he wasn't throwing the ball like I wanted. It was very Justin Fields-like. And that's why it's so easy to see this thing coming for me, is because it's the same situation as Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts and now Fields, that these players weren't supported in the way they needed to be supported. All of them got the support. Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown. Josh Allen got Diggs and a whole bunch of other assets that helped him become who he was becoming. And now Fields gets all these other helping pieces to the puzzle. And everybody thinks that this is going to blow up. Well, guess what? It's going to blow up right in your face. And to assume that he isn't going to take that talent level, that leadership level step up, or just the skill set and physicality and smartness and awareness and field intelligence. If you don't think he's going to take a step up in every single one of those categories like Jalen Hurts did, like Josh Allen did, you are so close-minded on this situation, and you just want to be right. You just want to be right so bad because you don't want to be wrong so bad. That's all you're doing, Donnie. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't high on Jalen Hurts or low on Jalen Hurts. If I just imagine, I think Justin Fields is a little more talented than Jalen Hurts, actually. Just that Jalen Hurts is in the perfect system with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. And you're completely right. You never miss on quarterbacks. I didn't really like Josh Allen's rookie year either. Like,
I did like Trey. I mean, just to be fair, I like to take away. I like to own up to stuff. You know, I did love Trey Lance. I did love Trey Lance. But in my defense, Shanahan has destroyed him. He hasn't even had a shot. But QBs are a wheelhouse that I do enjoy to dabble in.
Yeah.
Hey, Smitty, I've sent a couple emails on the website, but I still haven't been able to access to the lifetime content. Okay, Thomas, let me get to that right after the show. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if maybe PayPal. Sometimes PayPal has a weird communication problem. I'll go check it out, Thomas, and I'll save that and send you an email. Appreciate your super chat. Appreciate your support. Lifetime membership, Thomas. Grab one on the fantasyfootballshow.com. Attaboy, Thomas. Thomas, you get your wall. See these names right here? You get your wall name written on the wall for being a lifetime member, by the way. So, Thomas, appreciate you in dropping that. And then we got Jared right here flexing for us. Jared says, 12-man PPR QB, Lamar, Love, running back Barkley, Aaron Jones. What is this? Is this Saquon Barkley a cover or something? Like, what are you doing here, Jared? Barkley, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Kendre Miller. Tight ends are Waller, Okonkwo, Kupp, Watson, JSN, Tank. Thoughts on moves. 12-man PPR. So that's a good squad. Lamar, I love Jordan Love as your backup quarterback. Barkley, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Kendre Miller, Waller, Okonkwo, Kupp, Watson. I'm a little worried about Kupp. I wouldn't have drafted Kupp personally. I was on the clock at the 9 pick in the buddy league, the my pal league, my 20-year league I've had with my buddies, and I didn't take Kupp. I couldn't take Kupp. I was there at 9 overall, and I just worry about him. I worry about him. He's got the hamstring. He's coming back from the ankle injury that required surgery. Now, Tony Pollard had the same tightrope surgery, just to be fair, but Kupp's 30. Kupp's 30, and he also wasn't full go, and he went out there probably about 70%, pulled his hamstring, obviously a compensation injury, and so now he's dealing with 2 injuries at 30 years old. So there's a big concern. I don't know if someone dropped an exclusive membership, gifted membership. Let me swing into here and see who did it. I think somebody did. It was Double A. Double A dropping 10 gifted memberships. Double A, appreciate you dropping those 10 gifted memberships like a total boss. If this was me, I'm trading Kupp, and I'm trying to get Garrett Wilson. I'm trying to get St. Brown. I don't know if you can do it straight up. I'd do it straight up, to be honest with you. But I'd try and get a little more.
I agree.
I love the JSN, Watson, Tank Dell. Tank Dell. You know what Tank Dell is? Tank Dell, you're in week 2 or 3. Your wide receiver 3 goes down. Okay, your wide receiver 3 goes down. Who do you call? Who do you call? You call the Tank is what you call. I love that. Okay, Waller, Okonkwo, can't get better than that. That's fantastic. If it's me, I'm using the Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook slot right there, and I'm upgrading, or I'm side grading Kupp into one of those other wide receivers. But I'm trying to get rid of Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook together. I'm trying to get rid of maybe, I don't know what you can couple with it. Yeah, it's going to be hard to move Aaron Jones. I like everything else to where I don't want to move it. You could move Waller and bank on a Conquo, but I really like the Waller-Conquo combo. So I'm not sure I want to divide that up. But I'd say, like, I want Aaron Jones upgraded into, like, Walker or something like that. But that's me. Other than that, it's a great team, bro. It's an absolutely phenomenal job. The Waller-Conquo. You have a little bit of wiggle room with Waller if you wanted to try and bank on a Conquo. But a Conquo could be risky because I like him a lot. I like him in the double-digit round territory, and I like him with Kincaid. I think it's a fantastic combo. Throw in Cole Kmet. But I do feel like, there is potential for that offense to be sluggish. So that's the only thing that worries me about that. Phone lines are open, guys. I'll put the phone number on screen if anybody wants to dial into the show. We're going to talk for a little bit about the Chicago Bear players. So dial in, and again, if you missed the game, Fields is an absolute monster. I know it's the preseason, but it is what it is, and you need to take it for what it is, but you also need to recognize greatness in an offense that's getting in a groove and not. Like, if they went out there and looked garbage, would you not come out here, you Fields hater, would you not come out here and go, look how bad the Bears looked in the preseason game? You would have said the exact opposite, so be fair. Be fair. Fields 3 of 3, 129, 2 touchdowns. Roshan running 9 for 35. Khalil Herbert 4 for 15 on the ground. Khalil Herbert catching a 56-yard touchdown. And really, we got to talk about Khalil Herbert. And I mean, I can't put him on the Moon Men because we are just so full. But I have a feeling. Let me see if I can.
Good flex. Good flex guy. He's gonna be a good flex guy.
Let me put him. I mean, mid-season monsters maybe. Mid-season monsters. My.
All right. Look, can I say one thing about Cooper Kupp that I totally agree with you on?
I think we got to do it.
So similar to Michael Thomas' situation, he had an insane year, like most catches ever, and he never did it again. And Michael Thomas was more elite the years before even Cooper Kupp was. So just stay away from Cooper Kupp, y'all. Better receivers.
I think Cooper Kupp is just a big injury risk at 30 years old. I think Herbert's going to be a midseason monster. I think I'm going to put him on. I'm going to put him on here. Not that he can't do it from week one, but there are some sharing. Like the Bears have a mindset of going running back by committee, and that's been very, very widespread. Like we've heard that by several reports that they don't have necessarily a one running back mentality right now. So as Khalil Herbert does these kinds of things, keep in mind he just ripped off a touchdown reception. One catch, and he takes it to the house for 56 yards. And if you think, oh, it's preseason, let me also remind you how good Khalil Herbert is when the spotlight is on him. He was the number 1 running back in the National Football League last year in yards per carry. Yards per carry. Number 1 in the entire NFL. And it wasn't like he qualified in the category by running for 100 yards. He had like 700 or 800 yards, if I remember correctly. So Herbert is a potential midseason monster. And I think that's fitting because we don't, he hasn't been anointed yet. There's a lot of, wonderment about when it's going to go into effect. Let me go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, what's up?
I send you a DM.
All right, Rock Out. Let's see what Rock Out's got cooking here.
I don't care how you feel, but I'm giving you Fields. Fields gonna take over QB to the 5. That's to the rise. Popping off, scoring touchdowns, and scoring in your lineup. He's gonna take it over, and it's gonna be game over.
Thank you, Rock Out. Appreciate that. Rock Out, everybody. Get your single Friday. It releases on iTunes. We think, right, Rock Out?
Right.
You gotta put all these on iTunes, Rock Out. I think maybe you get a little following from it. I think everybody from the show would check it out. Avin says yak. Jarrett says here. I got a bunch of you in the chat dropping some knowledge. Super chats. Let me just make sure I'm caught up on the supers real quickly. I think I am. Thank you, AA, for dropping the gifted memberships. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Jared. Thomas, I'll get to your lifetime membership. Rock Out, how'd you feel about Fields today? I mean, what did you come away with when you watched Fields throw 2 touchdown passes? Yeah, in a preseason game, but It was, 2 underthrown passes. Like the ridiculousness of the haters, man, to pick apart. Like there was in my comments, and granted, there's probably a bunch of Niner fans that just hate that they didn't get Fields. But they're saying, like, didn't you see how bad of a pass that was? It was, give me a break.
Something could be perfect.
Bro, the ball was catchable. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He caught it, he ran it. We want him to do.
That's a lot of times. That's how a dump-off pass is. Not to mention a quarterback's throwing it. He's about to throw it to a certain spot, and sometimes the running back turns a weird way, or, and they got to catch it right here, whatever. Like, give me a break. Fields didn't throw the ball into the ground. Both of those receptions turned into touchdowns. And the more important conversation that we need to have with those haters is what happened to the bad weapons? What happened to the bad offensive line? What happened to the bad supporting cast and blocking? And he has nobody. They're not going to fix anything. Now you're blaming Fields for throwing a pass that was a tiny bit underthrown that turned into 2 touchdowns. You're just looking for stuff. You're a looking Lewis. That's all you are. A looking Lewis, just trying to find something to get all pissed off about. And because you weren't there for the beginning, we're gonna create a Fields card, and I'm taking away everybody's Fields card that has ever mentioned a negative thing about him. Fields is a huge avoid. Bob, I don't know if this is Bob just trying to be funny, Bob, but if it isn't, you're taking a lap.
Bob from McCounty.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your super chat and your support, and you're knocking ADP value down for Fields. I'm just so excited about. Look, can we take a little look-see poo at the Moon Men and Mars Men list real quick? Hang tight, callers. Just hang tight.
The Moon Men dropping loads in outer space.
Well, looky here, reindeer. We got Pickens catching a touchdown, and Dotson catching a touchdown, and Dell catching a touchdown. Our Moon Men are looking pretty extraordinary right now. These extraordinaires right here. I'm feeling really, really good about these Moon Men. I'm feeling really good. Watson was even very, very effective. He got overthrown on one play, and then another play was broken up, and it could have been a huge play. Who knows if it would have been a touchdown. Love loves to target Watson on the deep balls. He loves to hit Dobbs on passes where Dobbs can compete in congested territory. So Dobbs will be very, very effective and a nice sleeper, and he'll be like a jump ball contested catch specialist. While Watson's going to be that burner stretching the field. He's 6'4", 428, 40. This guy's a beast right here in Christian Watson. These Moon Men look spectacular, and we're not even done. I can't wait to hear more good news. And then we have our Mars Men extraordinaires. Look at this bad boy list right here.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Men.
St. Brown, monster.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Fields looking absolutely phenomenal representing this list. This list is such an amazing list. Olave, Bijan, Burrow, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Hall, Gibbs, St. Brown, Fields. The Mars Men extraordinaires are coming for everybody that's doubting them. And Fields is right now in the front of the shuttle. Ironically, love this man. I couldn't be more happy about the Mars Men and Moon Men lists right now. I know we're hit with the Breece Hall PUP and the Dalvin Cook, buzz, and then the Garrett Wilson ankle. And, and so everyone's like, oh, the Moon Man's falling apart. I'm looking at it right now, and I don't feel a single worry at all. These are 2 amazing lists. And then our absolute monster, midseason monster list is really coming along strong. JSN, Zay Flowers, these midseason monsters are looking pretty good, I must say. And I'm excited about that. And then I haven't looked at the Revenge Tour players in a while. Let me go ahead and swing over there. So again, the midseason monsters, everybody, midseason monsters indeed. And then the Revenge Tour guys, where are those guys? Let me go find. I haven't hit that button in a while.
It's time for some revenge,
Revenge Tour, Revenge Tour, Revenge Tour, Revenge Tour.
I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about Pitts being on this list right now. I'm excited about Pitts, but I'm gonna probably take him off. Well, I think I'll leave him here for now. But I do worry about Pitts. I think Breece Hall, and then we need to put Javonte on there especially. Let me go grab Javante's image real quick. Hold on.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
It's time for some revenge, baby. Revenge tour, revenge tour. Revenge tour.
All right, so we're going to put Javonte on here. He definitely deserves to be on here. This is a really good list. I just don't know how much I feel Pitts is going to... If anybody's going to get screwed in the passing game being not potent enough conversation here, it'll probably be Pitts in Atlanta. I don't think there's going to be any concern whatsoever for the volume and workload of London or Bijan, especially Bijan, because that's where there's no compromise when it comes to Arthur Smith. He's a running back specialist and architect and monster, so there's no concern whatsoever at all, even a little bit, no concern whatsoever in terms of Bijan Robinson. And I think while someone could argue that there is a potential concern for, let's say, London's workload or whatever, proven last year by Ritter throwing the ball pretty well to him and Ritter putting London on about a 12 to 1,300 yard pace, even though the touchdowns weren't really there. I think we've got proven commodity there. We got a proven amount of workload and volume going to London. And anybody that says something stupid like Arthur Smith doesn't like fantasy, you should be worried about Bijan, they really don't know football. They really don't know football, because Arthur Smith said that about Kyle Pitts' usage, and that is only applying to Kyle Pitts because the Falcons were the #1 rushing team in the National Football League in between the tackles. So clearly he loves running. Clearly he loves running, and clearly he loves fantasy football running backs. Okay, that's for certain. So this is a stupid conversation to have when we say Arthur Smith doesn't love fantasy, watch out for Bijan. Look at the stats, man. Don't run your mouth or regurgitate what some bad content creator told you, and you just say it over and over.
I'm not going to lie, Bijan's the only Falcon guy I would take in fantasy. I don't trust Pitts or Drake London. I just think there's a lot of better options to go.
Well, I don't hate that take. I don't agree with it, but I don't hate that take as much as if you came in here and said that they're not going to run the ball when they just led the league in rushing attempts. They were third in rushing yards without Bijan. But I do think you need to be a little bit more excited about London, because London is a top 8 wide receiver talent wise. He truly is, and Ritter may not be, the best thing since sliced bread, but he's definitely got I think enough potential to feed the football in the direction of London enough, because we've seen it happen. We've seen him be on a 12 to 1,300 yard pace without Ritter even being good. Ritter had no time to prepare. I'm not saying Ritter's a top 12 quarterback by any means, but he had no time to prepare whatsoever. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, Avi. Owen, you're live.
You're good.
Owen, hold on, Owen. I'm sorry. We got $20 super chat from that boy. Hold on.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Owen, appreciate you. I'm sorry, that boy, appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Owen. That boy says, I know it's a long shot, but I want Dimey Brown to emerge with Howell connection there. And I can't even read this one. It's connected to this other super chat. So any way it happens on how the receiving room is, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Brown, bro. It's a good question. I don't know how I feel about Brown. I think let's monitor that one. I don't really have a feeling on Brown, to be honest with you. I think he's got upside. I mean, there's been a lot of people in his corner. He's had a little bit of a fan club for a while, but he seems like one of those guys that, I don't know. You know who had a fan club that was very similar would be like a Bateman. People are so high on Bateman. They love Bateman. People love Bateman, and I don't think I don't think Bateman's going to turn out to be anything at all. I think he's okay. I think he's a occasional, like, decent guy that can go out there and, you know, like a Slayton or something like that. I think Bateman can be Slayton good, you know. And Slayton's a pretty decent wide receiver, so he's a good complimentary guy. But appreciate you, that boy, for dropping that super chat. Let's keep an eye on him. I'm not against the take, but I just, you know, it's not something I feel. Would JJ for St. Brown and Fields be good in a 12-man PPR? Gino is my QB. Absolutely. St. Brown and Fields would be getting him.
Got him.
And that isn't to say that I don't love JJ, bro. And if you had, let's say, another quarterback like T. Law, that I would definitely not make that trade in that situation. But Gino is not he's a good, decent quarterback, but he's not somebody I want to start in fantasy when you can put Fields out there. And St. Brown's going to hang with JJ closer than people think. And so that's a smash. That is a total.
Got him.
King 25, code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
Yeah, there's a guy in my chat right now. His name is Garrett, and he's committing a fantasy football robbery as we speak. Yeah, Garrett, what state are you calling from? Or chatting from? Yeah, he's got I don't know what that is. It looks like an elk on steroids in his avatar. I don't know what it is. What is that? What is that avatar anyway? Okay, appreciate you, Garrett, for dropping the super chat. Thomas says, are you free next Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for a draft call? I can book that draft call after the show. Let me look real quickly. Friday, 5 p.m. You want a draft call? Let's see here. And you can order a draft call at...
And that's going to wrap up today's show. Whoa, it's me.
I hit the wrong button there. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, here's the thefantasyfootballshow.com where you can order a draft call. And let me look and see. So right on the pricing table down below, you can see order a draft call. So if anybody wants to order a draft call or just get amazing content, 365, 24/7, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. What's Mountain Standard Time right now? Because I'm in Arizona. Arizona is so weird. What is it Eastern? Let me know Eastern, Thomas, what time you want. Let's see.
4:40.
4:40. It's 4:40 Mountain Standard right now?
No, Eastern.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is Eastern. I'm asking him, what's 5 p.m. What's Mountain Standard Time right now? I don't know. Okay. Next
2:41.
2:41.
2:40. They're 2 hours behind.
Okay. So this would be 3 p.m. I think my time on Friday. 3 p.m. Friday. I'm free from 3 to 3:45 because I got another draft call at 3:45. So email me, Thomas. Email me right now. We'll figure it out. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, that super chat out of the way. Thank you, Thomas. And then Just Sherman dropping this right here. Just Sherman said thoughts on Chris Evans and with Brown in Dynasty. Brown who in Dynasty? Chase Brown, I imagine you mean? Because I don't really like Chris Evans. I don't really think he holds on to the job. He's an okay player, but I do think eventually Chase Brown's going to get a shot. In Dynasty, I think he's below Roshan, definitely below A-Chain, but in that same like bucket of player where you don't really know what's going to happen. And Mixon's got 2 legal situations, one criminal, one civil, that could potentially make the league do something, but probably not because of what the league is incapable of doing, which is handing down discipline to players that deserve it. So I don't know if anything's gonna happen with Mixon, but I definitely like Brown over Chris Evans, and I definitely like Brown enough to make sure he's on a lot of my teams. I really, really like him. And then Travis dropped this one, Demario Douglas, midseason monster, sneaky good wide receiver. Appreciate that one, Travis. Nice one. Cunningham too. Malik Cunningham looks really good. You know, I was watching a lot of his footage and film, and I even went back to a lot of his college stuff. He's going to be something potentially special. So we'll talk about him in a minute. This one here from, I don't know how to say this name. What is it? Shanavelli. Fields, Carr, Jamar, Chase, Olave, London, Dotson, Tony, Mingo, amazing wide receivers. Obviously good quarterback play and a 1 QB. That's amazing. Running backs are JT, Walker, Charbonnet, and Joku Chigakonko. Any moves, get rid of JT. Get rid of JT as quick as you can. He's got second-round value. I would take Gibbs straight up in a heartbeat. You should have drafted Gibbs over JT, to be honest with you. But that's okay. That's why I'm here. I've been cranking that content out for a while. I've been saying to avoid JT for a while, so you probably heard it here or there, but just thought, oh, he's JT, I got to take him because he's ranked so high on the pre-ranked list, right? Trade him straight up for Gibbs and do it in a millisecond. I love the fact that you've got Walker and Charbonnet. I would go after a couple other running backs that might be available potentially in that territory where you could maybe get Gibbs, but I definitely would do that trade in a millisecond if it's me. Appreciate your super chat, and if you got a follow-up, let me know. Oh, and I'm sorry about the wait. Oh, and go, you're live.
Oh, you're good. We were talking about Kyle Pitts and the Falcons, and I thought it was a good point that Kyle Pitts never got to play with Ritter like London did. And also, I saw an interview with Arthur Smith, it was in the off season, and it was about how they were drawing up plays for Pitts, but Arthur Smith made it sound like he was injured early in the season, and there was a lot going on with Kyle Pitts besides Arthur Smith saying, I don't like fantasy, I don't care. There was a lot more to that equation than just a coach, and I think a lot of people are just blaming the coach for what happened to Pitts in London, and there was a lot going on there.
Agreed. That's why he's on the midseason monsters, but the reason he's not on the Moon Men list is because we only have so many spots on the Moon Men list. Let me show the Moon Men list real quick.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
There's just only so much room, and I while I like him, I wanted him on some list somewhere. And so we put him on the midseason monster list just because it could take him some time to get fully healthy, because it sounds like he's still trying to get there, even though I think he's really close. And I just think it's a safer place to have expectations at he could struggle and then get going eventually. And to your exact point, the fact that he hasn't played with Ritter for even really any time at all, he might take a little time to develop that trust and rapport with Ritter. And so for that reason, I think an expectation of maybe midseason is an appropriate one. So that's why I think midseason monsters is more appropriate for him. And it builds in that safeguard expectation, disappointment can happen at some point during the year, as long as by midseason he's rocking and rolling. I wish I could have kept him on the Moon Man list. He was on it briefly, but we had to remove him because, not everything's going to stick all offseason long. This guy real quick, Owen, and then I'll come right back to you. Malik Cunningham, we're talking about this guy's going to be potentially special if they allow him to be. I think he's probably starting, if I had to guess, by week 4 or 5. I was saying Zappy would get in there and play a half a season. I've changed my mind. I think Malik Cunningham has the potential to be something special. I don't know that he's somebody that is going to be a lock by any means to be valuable on any level. He could be out of the league in 2 years. He could be much like Malik. What's the other guy's name? Malik the Titan. Malik Davis? No. Who's the Titan rookie last year? Quarterback. Malik Willis. Malik Willis had some upside, and he was a running quarterback like Malik Cunningham, and he's no longer even on my mind. But I did like him a lot. So Malik Cunningham, in college, he was an absolute running monster. I believe he ran better and more successfully than a lot of quarterbacks that we're looking at in the NFL right now at the college level. I'll pull up some of his college stats, but he was like a beast. He was like Lamar Jackson on the ground. And so he comes out there in this game, and he goes 3 of 4 for 19 yards, which isn't the extremely impressive part, but he ran the ball 5 times for 34 yards and a touchdown. And he's just so elusive. And if there's a shot at all for New England to be good this year, they need to go all in on this kid and give him a shot at some point. I don't know if Travis Rose is listening, but Travis, this is a very, 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 very good thing for your Patriots. You hear me rip on the Patriots a lot because I truly believe there's Bill Belichick's he doesn't know what he's doing in terms of some of these moves and really lack of moves to get Hopkins, lack of move to go get Lamar Jackson. I think there's a little bit of hope here for you, Travis, that this is your guy. And that will be exciting because he's such an exciting player. So everybody keep an eye on Malik Cunningham and maybe look to maybe grab him in some dynasty leagues. Let me go back to Owen real quick. Owen, what's up? Hello, Owen? I think Owen hung up. Marsman, rock out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question. Why is still so much hate on Olave? What bunch of people be talking down on him?
What do you mean?
On Olave.
I don't hear a lot of hate on Olave, really. Where are you hearing the hate on Olave?
Basic, like different networks. They're like,
yeah,
they don't believe in the Olave hype, basically.
Yeah, I don't know why someone would have a problem with Olave. Olave's going in the third and fourth round to a lot of these networks and content creators. So how in the hell could they have a problem with Olave? Most of these guys think he's a third and fourth rounder, and he is on ESPN, so they would be right in some respect, but. Like I said, I always see these content creators create a mock draft, and they say, whose mock draft of the three of us did better? And Olave's sitting there in mid-third, and it's like, bro,
Take him every time.
Not everybody's gonna have the ability to, I don't know. Anyway, let me get this two super chats out of the way. Kyle Fitness, appreciate you. Kyle says, are we worried about Tyreek's legal situation? Not really. The pat on the back of the head, he just gave that guy a little love tap. If the NFL is not going to put Alvin Kamara on the bench for more than 3 games, why in the hell are they going to do that from a little love tap on the back of the head? I think that's a nothing burger. It really is. If you're talking about that legal situation. Dallas says big game for Steelers wide receiver George Pickens, ADP rise. Absolutely. I think Pickens, we talked about this last night. So Dallas, if you missed it, go. I think there's a little bit we did on him. But Pickens, let's talk about him now and just say, yeah. I mean, Pickens is a potential top 12 to 14 wide receiver. Pickens probably climbed about a half a round, I'd imagine, maybe a round after yesterday's TD reception. He's hungry. He's got the drive. He's got the attitude. He thinks he's the number 1 wide receiver in the National Football League. He thinks he's the number 1 wide receiver in the National Football League, and I love that about George Pickens. I love that he's that hungry. St. Brown also thinks he's the number 1 wide receiver in the National Football League. I love the changing of the guard wide receivers and the fact that both these guys are on the Moonman Marsman list. So we got St. Brown over here.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Marsman.
St. Brown, Marsman.
The Moon Men. Dropping loads in outer space.
George Pickens, Moonman.
Space Monsters.
I mean, Dotson catching a touchdown, Pickens catching a touchdown, and Dell catching a touchdown. And might I add that all 3 of these touchdowns were unbelievable touchdowns. Every single one of them. Like this guy Pickens caught it, and he just was elusive and just broke away. And you could say this is the least impressive of these 2 touchdowns, the Dotson and Dell touchdowns, but it was still nice. He still made it happen. He made it happen. It wasn't like it was on the 7-yard line and he did a little slant play and he was wide open and he scored a touchdown. This is him being absolutely spectacular. This Dotson touchdown was unbelievable because he's considered to be a guy that might be a little smaller. Maybe he gets manhandled. Well, what's he do? He catches a touchdown, or he catches a pass probably around like the 10 to 7 yard line, and he musters his way between 2 defenders and pushes himself into the end zone and stays on his feet. This guy scored an unbelievable touchdown. And Tank Dell may have bobbled the catch, but what awareness and presence in the end zone to keep his body, legs, his knees inbounds, catch the football, secure it, and push it toward the referee so the referee could see that he had it. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. All 3 of these touchdowns, these Moonmen extraordinaires, just making us proud as can be. I'm so pumped about the Moon Men list this year. It is such a great list. It is the Mars and the Moon Men. It feels so strong. I'm looking for one more.
Yep.
I'm looking for one more just to make sure we got it all covered, ladies and gentlemen. I'm combing through it, and there will be an additional final potential ad. Don't worry. I will find one. I will figure it out. It will happen. All right, let's wrap this up. Avi, final thoughts.
I was on mute. Go get Justin Fields in the 4th round. Later.
Later, Avi.
Later.
I would say get Fields wherever you need to get him. If you got to get him at 4, get him at 4. If you can get him in 5, you get him at 5. I took him in 4 in a league just a little bit ago, and I felt like I had to because he was the top-ranked quarterback, and I had about 4, 5, 6 picks or whatever before I was up again. And I looked at the other players that I wanted to take, and I said, okay, if Christian Watson goes, I want to be pissed off, and he did go. I'll be able to get London. I could get DJ Moore. I took London. I kind of in a way want DJ Moore and London about equal right now, to be honest with you. And I could very quickly get behind wanting DJ Moore over London. That's just how much I like DJ Moore right now, and the rapport these two have together. They're building bunk beds as we speak. They're doing karate in the garage as quickly as tonight, after the game. These guys are our best buddies, the two best friends that anybody could have. I'm just thrilled about the rapport between all three of these guys. This offense is electric. Rock out, any final words of wisdom?
Don't sleep on Khalil Herbert.
Don't sleep on him.
Take him at a good price and then let him roll.
That's correct. All right. Later, Rock out. Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you later. Appreciate you watching. Fields to the moon.
To the moon.
Herbert to the moon.
To the moon.
And, of course, DJ Moore to the moon.
To the moon.
And George Pickens, and Dotson, and Tank Dell, and Breece Hall, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and St. Brown, and every other player we've been talking up. Go get Justin Fields, baby.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Feels like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Fields so good.
Fields general. My field's good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. Fields. He's for reals.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever news breaks. Whenever we need an emergency live stream like this, Fields live stream right now. Don't forget, we draft tonight. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'm going to drop that promo code in the live chat right now. Make sure you sign up now so that you aren't missing out. Hit that promo code. There it is. I dropped it in the link in the chat. Sign up now before it's too late, and you can't get in. This video right here, part 2, I will be dropping soon. It'll be Jahmyr Gibbs, and we'll be talking about why Jahmyr Gibbs is a potential top 5 running back in redraft in 2023. And Dallas dropping a super chat says, so DJ Moore is a future Moon Man. He could be, very well could be one of the final Moon Men. Hang tight on that, but DJ Moore looking very crispy, right now. And like I've said for the last, I saw D-Class saying he didn't know I liked DJ Moore. Well, I mean, even up to last night, the live stream before, I think a week before, 2 weeks before, constantly saying, pump the brakes on expecting top 5 wide receiver numbers, because everyone says, well, if you love Fields, you've got to love DJ Moore to the tune of a top 5 wide receiver. And my answer is always D-Class every time, go look and see, is that he can be a 1,207 or 8 touchdown guy, 1,200 yards, 7, 8 touchdowns, 80 receptions, and he could be an outstanding wide receiver too. Today, I'm feeling he has potential super high-end wide receiver 2 value, maybe 1,300 yards, maybe 9 to 12 touchdowns, maybe 90 receptions. So that puts him on a different level for sure. YouTube exclusive membership link, I can certainly drop that right now. Anybody wants to become a YouTube exclusive member, it's a way of help supporting the channel. Thank you, Blackbeard, for reminding me. Here's that link right there. if you want to be a YouTube exclusive member. You can also go on my YouTube homepage here. You can see the join button on desktop, or right below it, you can see memberships. And on mobile, there might not be a join button on mobile, but there is a membership button on mobile. Next to that is store. Next to that is channels, if you ever want to find my Dynasty channel link. So those tabs are very helpful, but join or memberships is how you can become a YouTube exclusive member, or just click the link that I just dropped. And again, we're drafting tonight on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Click that link right there, right now, and jump in and be a part of the drafts tonight. Thank you so much for that super chat, Dallas, that final super chat. D-Class says, that's good because I have a decent amount of his shares. Thanks, Smitty. You're the man. Appreciate you, D-Class. He's definitely capable of being a super high-end wide receiver, too. Like, I would say, like, 11, that's wide receiver 1. I'd say his ceiling's 11, 10, 11. The average value I would throw is about 13 to 15. But that's a high-end wide receiver too. He certainly could be that good. Khalil Herbert, underrated, absolutely starter. Appreciate you all. See you tonight. Again, dropping the link one more time. Underdog Fantasy, sign up in advance. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. We're going to do live drafts tonight. So make sure you go sign up by clicking that link. If you're watching the replay right now of this show, link's in the description. And you want to sign up ahead because you get up to $100 bonus match. But you're going to be ready to go. And tonight when we go live, I'm going to say open up your app. That link will help you download. And open up and go to this card on here. Click it, and we're all going to go in right now. That's how we do it. So you got to be signed up and ready or you're going to miss out. I'll see you all tonight. Thank you, Dallas, for the super chat. Thank you, Dallas, for the super chat. Thank you, Kyle, for the super chat. Thank you, Shanavelli, for the super chat. Thank you, Travis Rowe. Appreciate you. Get ready for Malik Cunningham. Travis, I think he's pretty good. Justin Sherman, appreciate you. Thomas, appreciate you. I'll look at that email right now. That boy, appreciate your $20 hauler, you monster. Garrett, appreciate you. Garrett, what is that on your avatar? Looks like a bull that mated with a unicorn or something. Thomas, appreciate you. Bob, appreciate you. Jared, appreciate you. Jared, thank you for your super chat. Carter, thank you for your super chat. I will see you all later. If there's more breaking news, we'll go live, but we're definitely going to be live streaming tonight and doing the drafting. See you all then.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Fields like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Fields so good.
Fields general. My field's good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. He's for reals.